You know, we're about to pull back the curtain on something you use literally every single day, but probably never think about. It's this quiet engine that makes the internet feel like it actually knows you.
I mean, you've felt it, right? You log into your favorite site and bam, it greets you by name. It recommends a video you actually want to watch, or it shows you exactly what your friends have been up to. It feels personal, almost like a conversation. But how does that even happen? How does a website go from being just a static page to this dynamic, personal experience?
Well, to really get how the web got so personal, we kind of have to go back to the beginning. Let's imagine the early internet, not as this bustling city we know today, but more like a huge, quiet public library.
Back then, when you wanted to see a web page, you were basically asking for a specific book off a shelf. And it didn't matter who you were, a student, a professor, anyone, you got the exact same book with the exact same words on the exact same pages. There was zero personalization. It was totally a one-size-fits-all kind of deal.
And in this giant library, the web server was our librarian. And this librarian was really good at its one job. You'd give it a request, kind of like a call number for a book, and it would just go to the shelf, find the pre-written file, and hand it over. Super simple, super efficient, but completely impersonal.
So what did this librarian's job actually look like in practice? Well, the whole process was surprisingly straightforward. It was really just a straight line. You, the user, make a request. That request zips over to the web server, our librarian. The librarian finds the exact file it needs on its hard drive, the book, if you will, and just sends it right back to you. And that's it. A really clean, direct path from your request to the page you see.
And this is where you see the system's biggest problem. It was great for sharing information, for sure, but it was completely stateless. The librarian had no memory at all. It didn't know who you were, what books you liked, or even that you had just visited 5 minutes ago. Every single visit was like starting over from scratch. And this is the real turning point. I mean, what if you needed a page showing your specific grades for a class, or your unique social media feed, or, the items in your shopping cart? A pre-written book from the library shelf just isn't going to cut it. You need something built on the spot, just for you.
So, this is where a second, much more interesting character comes into our story, and you can think of it less like a library and more like a magic workshop. Yeah, so picture this. Tucked away behind the main library, there's this special workshop. This is the application server. Its job isn't to just fetch things that already exist. Its whole purpose is to create new things based on a custom order. So the process now has a few extra steps. The librarian, our web server, still gets the first request, but when it sees that it's a special order, it doesn't head for the shelves. Nope. Instead, it walks right over to the workshop and hands that order to the artisans inside.
So who are these artisans? Well, in the world of the web, they're these powerful scripting languages, and a really famous one is PHP. They are the builders. They take your request and they follow a set of instructions, the code, to put together a brand new, custom web page, completely from scratch. But, of course, to build something personal, these artisans need information about you. So they go and consult this massive, perfectly organized card catalog. And that's the database, something like MySQL. It's where all the specific details are stored. Your username, your profile picture, your friends list, whatever's in your shopping cart. Okay, so now we can see the whole shebang. The request comes into the web server, which realizes it's a special order and passes it to the PHP processor, our artisan. The artisan then checks the MySQL database, the card catalog, for your specific data. It uses that info to assemble a brand new web page. And finally, that finished, custom-built page gets handed back to the web server, which sends it right over to you. A completely unique page created in just milliseconds. So it really just boils down to this simple difference. The web server is the librarian, dealing in static, identical files for absolutely everyone. But the application server, that's the workshop, the dynamic engine that builds something new just for you. One fetches, the other builds. It's that simple.
Now, this might all still sound a little bit abstract, but this workshop is running constantly, all the time, in the background of your digital life. Think about it. Every time you refresh your social media feed, that's the workshop building a page with the very latest posts from your specific friends. When you check your grades on your university portal, that's the workshop pulling your info from a database. Your shopping cart, your email, your video recommendations, all of these things are custom-built on-demand creations from that application server. And hey, this isn't just some made-up metaphor.
This combination of a scripting language and a database is truly the foundation of the modern web. As Robin Nixon puts it here, this very duo is the key to creating those dynamic, database-driven experiences that we all pretty much take for granted now.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Why does this quiet little process happening on a server somewhere far away even matter to us?
It matters because this whole process is what transforms the internet from a cold, static library into a living, breathing world. It's the silent, unseen engine that makes connection, community, and personalization possible, constantly putting together a version of the web that's unique to every single one of us.
So next time you refresh a page and you see your name appear, just take a second. Picture that librarian handing an order to an artisan who pulls your card from the catalog and gets to work. Think of that quiet, invisible conversation happening in a fraction of a second, all to build a small piece of the web, perfectly and personally for you.